So before we continue, first we need to understand what is beam, because current technologies we are using for the construction purpose, that is our beam technology, right? And so many students have myth in their mind that beam is something like a software, right? But I want to clear them all that beam is not a software. Beam is a technology that is combine so many softwares together. See, the full form of BEAM is Building Information Modeling. Means it's a modeling of your information only. This BEAM will allow you to handle your data, your digital data of your computers, either it's from any software in a particular flow. Which one is the flow? Flow is over here in this diagram. See, we have the first step we have, which is architectural phase we have, where we use AutoCAD for concept creation purpose. Then we use Revit Architecture for the 3D modeling purpose. You can use Google SketchUp also, but Revit Architecture is the best one. You will get the idea why it is the best one. Then the next step we have is civil engineering, where we actually calculate our structure. We do our soil testing, survey our lands, leveling. So these are the things we need to do in the civil engineering phase. Then once your both data are going to combine, and that data is going to transfer to the structure engineer, and with the help of that site information and the model information, now structure engineer is going to decide where we should place our structure, the size which it should be, how much reinforcement we need to provide, right? So everything calculation will be done. So you need to understand this thing. See, it is a complete data flow, right? Once the data which is created by the structure engineer, which is okay, then that data is again going to transfer to the MEP engineer. So this is a very new field: mechanical, electrical and plumbing. To operate any building, we need to have some mechanical equipments with the building, electrical facilities and the plumbing system, where we have a water distribution channel, sewer distribution channel, right? Then sanitary equipments are there. In the electrical system, we have so many switches, control circuits, right? Then conduits and the paneling. If you have if you are creating a model of your corporate office, then we need to create a telephone line also, a camera, a chain also, right? So all the grids we need to create with the help of electrical system. And also we have mechanical system like lift, we have motors, pump, generator. So these are the things we have mechanical equipments in our building to operate that, right? For example, you have central air conditioning system. If you are creating a mall, then we need to create a ducting system for that, right? HVAC system, heating, ventilation and air conditioning system. Then also we have fire safety system. In the underground parking in so many very quite big malls, you have seen that on the ceiling we have red pipes over there, right? So that is our fire safety system. So that everything we need to create in our data, in our model, right? So that is our MEP system. And once this all data is going to finish, right, so you have a complete information about your model, right? That how much cost will be there, what time should it take, right? How many manpower we need to require, every data will be there. And also we have some good images also, so we can start our selling and also construction, both the things starts together. So that is why this beam is very important, right? Now let me
पाणी थोडा
discuss
बाकी
about the Revit software. Yes, is there
कोणाचा फोन आपल्याला
student?
उचलतोय का?
Please.
उचलतोय का?
Okay.
Students, this is a final request to all of you to have a seamless session. It is very important that all students put your mic on hold, on mute. Please, if you don't mute your mic, we will have to remove you from the session. Please put your mic on mute. There is disturbance for the other participants. I hope you understand that and appreciate it. Thank you so much. I can still see some people whose mic is not on mute. Please put your mic on mute. Navneet, put your mic on mute. Thank you.
Okay, so let me continue now. Thank you, sir. So once we understand about this beam funda, right? Beam is the technology. Now let me discuss about the Revit software. Now Revit is not a single software. Actually, Revit is a complete package. It's a Autodesk Revit, which have three divisions, right? Architecture, structure, and MEP. This all three divisions combines in the Revit. And also individual softwares are also available, that is Revit Architecture, which is your individual software, Revit Structure, which is your individual software, right? But once you are going to install Autodesk Revit, that means it's a complete package of your architecture, structure, and MEP. So Autodesk Revit is a building information modeling software for architects, landscape architects, structure engineers, MEP engineers, design engineers, and also for the contractors and developers by the Autodesk. So this software is mainly a 3D modeling software where everything, your structure and also some components that you place inside your home, everything should be in 3D. Also, you can do your drafting work in this software. Just create your model within a one click. You will get the information of your floor plan, sections, elevations, detail view, everything you will get with a one click only. And also, it will allow you to provide all the model information. Now, see, this model information is very important, right? Because once we create a model, now I want to calculate how much wall volume is there. Then if you are using some drafting software, then you need to calculate it manually, right? But Revit will give you within a second the answer that how much volume you have for walls, how many doors you have, which types of doors you have. So you can create a schedule and quantity report of your model, right? So that is why this is a very accurate and optimized software for the designers. And some history about this software: it's a product of Autodesk. Now we have some more softwares which are the similar that also use in the civil engineering or automobile engineering, sorry, not automobile, architectural engineering field. That is, we have Google SketchUp, which is a basic 3D modeling software, and with the help of V-Ray you can capture some images with the help of this software, right? So the main purpose of this software is creating a 3D model. Then we have Autodesk 3ds Max. Now this is a studio software we have where you can generate high resolution images and videos. So this software is mainly used for the visualization purpose, where you need to create your images and videos over there. And this is the very popular and very useful software we have for all the fields, not for the civil or architecture only, right? This software is used for all the fields. That is our AutoCAD, which is our drafting software. Okay, now some pre-requirements. If you want to learn this software, you must have some basic knowledge about the civil engineering, and also if you have a knowledge about AutoCAD, then it will be good for you, right? And before we continue with the structure portion, this is the last slide. I want to introduce you only the module, the content that Revit architecture has, right? So in the Revit architecture, first you will get the introduction, then the project setup, right? Then we have basic modeling tool in the Revit software, where we create walls, door, windows, furnitures, floor, roofs, and columns. So with the help of these are the tools, we will create a basic model. Then in the advanced modeling, you will get the ceiling workout, staircase, railings, ramps, right? And also your model elevation, either interior or exterior, you can perform with the help of advanced modeling tool. Then we have drafting, means you can create your different types of 2D views like floor plan, ceiling plan, structure plans, sections, detail views, right? So these are the views you can create with the help of one click. And also you can place the dimensions, details and symbols over there. Then you can place your drawing into a paper with a proper scale with the help of drawing views. The next we have visualization, where we can create our material, we can modify our materials and apply our materials to our model. Then camera placement, camera settings, rendering settings, and also walkthrough videos will be there, right? So that's the portion of visualization. And also we have import and export to communicate with the other software. For example, you want to transfer this Revit file to some other software or some AutoCAD file to the Revit file, so we can do that with the help of import and export. Then in the Revit architectural advanced modeling, right? So this is the advanced. Hello. Okay, just a minute. Okay, thank you. So in the advanced content, we have massing. Massing is mainly used for the multi-story building design, right? Where we need to create a complex exterior structure for your multi-story skyscrapers. Like there are so many iconic building we have in Dubai, right? So that type of structure, if you want to create, you can create with the help of massing. Then we have site, which is mainly used to create some environment around your model. For the video and for the image creation purpose, we must have some realistic environment around our model, right? Some humans are there, cars, trees, plantations, right? So these are the things you can create with the help of this site tool. Then we have structural modeling tool, we have, which is the basic one. Then room area and color scheme, and also we have walkthrough animation and your solar study animation. You can check the weather, sorry, the shadow report. You can generate a shadow report of your model. You can enter your physical location like coordinates, your northing and easting over there. And Revit software will tell you that on this particular day the sun and the shadow report will be this one, right? So you can take all the data from this Revit software. Now let me discuss about the Revit structure, that is the main topic for today. So in the Revit structure we have some content, which is the introduction, then project setup, then we have structural modeling tools, right? Then we can provide some reinforcement into our model. Then we have steel design module, where we can use our section members like I section, C section, right? Box pipe. So with the help of this section member, the industrial shades you want to create, right? Trusses, the braces you want to create, you can with the help of steel design. Then we have connections and modifications, where with the help of connections we can connect this steel structure together. The riveting, the fastening, bolting will be there, right? So that we can do with the help of this. Then the rest we have, which is a drafting, means we can create a drawings. Then we can generate different types of views, and also we can place them into our drawing sheet. And the visualization also there, right? And import and export. So now let me continue with the Revit software. So here I am going to share you a screen of Revit software. So I hope now you all get the basic idea about this software, that what exactly this Revit is and why it is a very much popular, right, for this civil field, architectural field. Now see, as I told you, Revit is a complete package. Revit have mainly three division. Now whenever you are going to install your software, on the bottom left corner over here we have written Autodesk Revit. So I have installed this Autodesk Revit. That means I have a complete package of architecture, structure, and MEP in my this package, right? If you have written over here that Revit Architecture, that means you have only Revit Architecture software. If it is written over here that Revit Structure, that means you have only structure software. Okay, so whenever you are going to start your Revit, your screen will be mainly divided into three division. Say the project, families, and resources. In the resources, we have a Revit community link and also some getting started videos. So some kinds of support from the Autodesk you will get from here, right? Then here we have project, means whatever things we are going to create, we use project for that, right? And
Right? And
students, please. Okay. And the families means whatever objects that we want to place inside our model, for example doors, windows, some equipments, furnitures, right? So that are the things you need to create in the families, right? Now we are going for the structure, so we will use a structural analysis default template for that. So how to call template? Go to your application menu, go to the options, and here you need to go to your file location, right? In the file location, click on the plus sign and go to your library, and my library is in the C drive, program data, in the Autodesk. Here we have Revit 2019, and in the template, so here we have structural analysis default template. So I'm going to use this one for our today's work, right? If you want to work with the architectural file, you can use default template. Hit OK and OK. So that template will be loaded over here. Or there is one more method that you can call your template directly from the new file, but you need to browse it. So let me click on that, and just a minute and your file will be loaded over here. So before we continue, all the students, I have one question, that my Revit screen is visible to you all or not. Please give me a confirmation in the chat
sir,
box.
visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So see, this is our template where you will find some levels in your structure plan, right? 3D view also we have, and some elevations. That is why we choose a template over here. If we are not going to choose template, then we will get only and only level 1, right? No elevations will be there, no analytical plan will be there, so that everything we need to set manually. So that is why we choose a template for that. And as you all know, in the template we get some kind of pre-settings over there, right? So these are the templates. Now first of all, we will create some levels over here. So I want to go to the elevation. You can go to any elevation. So let me go to the south one. See, these four things we have over here, that is our elevations, right? So don't delete it, don't misunderstand that this is something useless thing and just press delete. Your elevation is going to delete, so you need to keep this thing. If it is in your way, you can just select it and take it a little away, right? But don't delete it. Now click on, double click on your elevation, and this is my south elevation, and these are the levels we have. For example, let me create one more level. So with the help of level tool, you can choose a pick line option, and let have a 10 feet offset on the top. So here we have a level 3. Also I want to create one more level for the foundation purpose. So I'm going to take a offset of 3 feet on the bottom, right, like this. And this level 4 I want to rename it, so you can rename it also. Just click on that and let me say bottom of foundation. Okay, so see, these are not just a line, right? These are our actual levels. This is my -3 feet level, this is my 0 feet height level. So these are the planes we have. So if you go to the structure plan, if you double click on the BOF, that means you are a -3 feet height at, means in some depth. If you double click on the level 1 over here, then you are on the top view and the height is 0 feet 0 inch, means at ground level. If you double click on level 2, that means your height will be 10 feet, right? So in this way this software actually works. And to learn this structural modeling tools, you must have some basic knowledge about the Revit software, right? Because every architectural content I am not going to cover over here, because we have a very short time and this is our expert class. So let me continue with the level 1, and first of all we will learn how to place the columns. So directly focus on the architecture. Before we focus on the architecture, see, as I told you that this is a complete package of Revit, means we have architecture content, then also we have this structural tab. See, these are the structure content we have in the same software. Also we have steel modeling and steel modification tools we have. So these are the structure, and this system is your MEP, where you have HVAC system, means heating, ventilation, air conditioning system, ducting, piping, right? Then the fabrication also we have. Then we have mechanical equipments. Then this is our plumbing system, piping, the sanitary equipments, and also fire safety equipments, valves, elbows, right? So everything is over here. Then here we have electrical equipments, wires, cable trays, conduits, right? Switches, lighting fixtures. So these are the things we have in the electrical. So this is system, and we will generally discuss these two tabs today: the architecture, sorry, structure and steel. So first of all we will create some grid lines over here, where actually I want to place my columns, right? So I'm going to create one grid line over here, and see, the name of my grid line is 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a array for that. So select it, click on the array, then over here I'm specifying the gap between two should be 12 feet, and I want 6 copies. So see, the name are in a numerical sequence, right? Similarly I want to add one more grid line over here, and before I'm going to array it, I want to change the name. So I'm going to provide the alphabetical name over here. Now create a array for that. Select it, array, and this side we will take a 10 feet offset, and let me have 6 copies again. Now see, the name is in a alphabetical sequence, right? So that is why I change my name first. Now let me understand how to place the columns, right? For the column placement, click on the column structural, or the shortcut for that is CL. Once you click on that, you must have this both thing open, right? Your project browser and your properties. Now in the properties we have W shaped column over here, and also we have rectangular concrete columns we have. So these are the two options we have right now. So I'm going to choose my concrete column, and the size is 12 cross 18. If you want to change it, you can, right? This is our I section we have. So you can place it anywhere, but before you place it, you need to notice that from where it's going to be, right? So right now we are on level 1, and my column is going to some depth, at bottom of foundation, which is not correct. I want to take it on the top direction, right? So choose height over here, and for example up to level 2 I want to keep that, right? So this is our first column, and now I'm going to see we can snap actually this grid. That is why we create this grid. When you go to the grid, it is going to snap over there, right? So you can easily snap it. Now cancel this thing and go to the 3D view, so your column will be visible over there. Change the detail level to fine and your visual style to realistic. See the I section column we have, right? But first of all let me discuss the RCC structure. So here I'm going to create some columns. So there are so many options for column placement. See, click on the column. The first method I showed you, we can place them manually. The second method we have, if we have a architectural column, then we can use add column option and we can select our architectural column over there, right? The third method we have add grid lines, right? So we can directly select our grid line and the intersection of grid line will be our position of the column, and also we have slant column. So first let me discuss this slant column. So for the slant column you need to provide two clicks, your first click and your second click. For example, second click I want at level 2 and first click I want at level 1, right? So 0 feet offset from both. Now see, I'm going to create a column from, this is my first click, so that is on level 1, right? And level 1 is at 0 feet height. And for example here I am going to create my second click, so that point will be on level 2 and my level 2 is at 10 feet height. So view it from the 3D view. See, it's a slant column. So if you want to create your slant structure, go to the south elevation. See, it is from here to here, right? So if you want to create some slant objects, you can with the help of slant column option. Now just quickly create from the bottom of foundation. I want to create my columns, and first of all I want to create my columns up to the level 2, right? So click on the columns, choose your column size, for example 18 by 24 inch, and I will use vertical at grid option, and before we select, choose height up to level 2. Okay, now click on the add grid, and for example I'm going to select, these are the grid lines. So see, all the intersections are going to create columns, right? So for example I'm going to select everything, then at the intersection of that grid you will get that column. So clear it is how to create this structure. Now hit on finish and finish your command. Now go to the 3D view. See, we create all these columns at a time. So it's that much easy to create multiple things in this software. Now let me go to the level 2, and here I want to select some of the columns. So by this selection, okay. Now click on the filter and structural column, okay. And the level I want to choose level 3 over here. Click on apply and now go to the 3D view. See, we have that much column up to level 3, right, in our structure. Now what we need to do, I want to create some floors. So these are the column creation options. Now let me discuss some beam creation options. So if you want to create beams, so go to the level 2 now and let me create some beams. So click on the beam, choose your beam size. For example, 12 cross 24 inch I want, or maybe 15 cross 24 inch I want. So go to the edit, create a duplicate for that and give it a new name. It's a 15 cross 24. Okay, and the 1 feet 3 inches. Okay, now click on OK. So this is my new beam, and I want to create my beams from here to here, right? And from here to here, or we can generate a beam system also for entire structure. So we need this much beams over there. Now go to the 3D view. See, these are the beams we have in our structure, right? Now I want to create a complete floor for that. So let me again go to the level 2. Now choose the floor architecture. So I'm going to tell you the options for the structural modeling tools, right? We have. So click on the floor and choose the floor structure. Now see, this is our metal deck structure we have. So if you are creating a industrial shed and a steel floor you want, right, a metal deck floor you want, you can use this one. But we want to create a concrete floor, so I'm choosing the 6-inch concrete right now. And from this boundary, from here to here. Okay. So for example, this is my floor and this one is the span direction, and hit OK. Now go to the 3D view. See, we have this complete structure over here. Now on this top, I want to create something else. So go to the level 3, and here we want a smaller size beam. So click on the beams and choose this 12 cross 24, that I want to place it from here to here. Students, please. Okay. Now let me create a floor for that. So click on the floor, and I
Can't we
want to
use our
create.
time?
So we will use a peak line option for that, and I want some offsets over here. Let's say 5 feet offset from this side, also from here, one from this side and one from this side. Now see, there will be some kind of confusion to you all, right? But don't worry about that. See, we will use the corner tool. I want to corner this one here, this one here, this I want to corner here. So this is my custom shape of the floor, right? I want to create this type of floor. For example, I want to reduce the length of this one. So this 5 should be 2 feet. Okay. So this is my requirement. I also want to add some kind of fillet over here. So let's have a fillet. Okay. Now click on the finish. and this is the my next structure. And if you want to continue further, you can, right? So you just need to create extend this column further, and you can start your workout over there. Now let me create some structural walls. So the creation of wall is also very important in this. So for that we are going to the level one, and for example I want to create the boundary for these two sides only, right? So we'll create a wall for two sides only. So click on the wall structure, and I'm choosing 8-inch concrete wall over here, and let me create them. It should be in height up to level 2, and that should be from here to here and then over here,
बाहेर लाईन खूप आहे तिथं.
right? Now go to the 3D view and check it. See, on this side we have this wall. Now if you want to place some foundation detail, you can. So let me create a foundation wall for this one, right? So again go to the level 1, and I want to add a foundation wall for that. So click on the wall again, wall structure,
पप्पा
and here you will find a
हे
foundation
करू
wall.
तिच्या पाणी वाचून देऊ का फक्त. हो तिच्या पाणी वाचून
So
देऊ का फक्त.
students, please, it's
मग
a
तू वाचून दे ना.
very, please mute yourself. Okay, thank you. So here we have choose a 12-inch foundation concrete category wall, right? And this time I will go into the depth, and I want to reach up to the bottom of foundation, and I'm going to create it from here to this point and up to this point. So these are the our creation object creation tools we have, right? So this is my wall foundation. Now let me discuss some isolation tools. So for the isolations, if you want to provide the foundation of your column, right, foundation of your wall foundation, if you want to perform, right, then for that we have a isolation over here for the columns, and foundation for wall also we have. So click on the wall foundation first. Let me discuss the wall foundation, and this is the bearing footing we have, which is the 36-inch cross 12-inch. If you want to change the size, you can, but I am going to use this one. Now what you need to do, you just need to select your foundation wall, right? Just select that, and it will add a footing for that. See, this concrete footing, it will be added. You just need to select your wall. See, I'm going to select this one. It is added, right? So it's that much easy to create that things. Now let me discuss the footing for the columns. For that we have so many options. See, at the different places as per the soil condition and the weather condition and the construction modes, right? We need to decide the shape of our foundation, the depth of the foundation. In the Dubai they are mostly use friction foundations, right? Pile foundation we can say. We have one question from Jocelyn, that how can we customize the walls? So you can just, you need to select your wall like the others. Just select your wall, not the foundation, sorry. So select your wall, go to the edit, and here you can duplicate your wall. Click on the duplicate choose a new size. For example, I want 6 inch. So this is my new name, 6 inch. Okay, it is already used. So okay, now go to the structural editing, and here you can change your thickness, that I want 6 inch. And also I want to change the material, so you can change the material also. Let we add a concrete normal weight precast. Okay. Okay. So in this way you can change the wall thickness and also the wall material. And we are using imperial dimensions right now. Yes, in the imperial all the dimensions will be in fits and inches, right? Okay. Now let me discuss the footing for the columns, right? We have so many things to discuss. So at the end we will I will answer you answer for your all questions, right? First let me finish, these are the things. So the footing column foundation we have over here isolated. Click on the isolated, and this is the rectangular footing we have. But it will be very difficult to place them directly from the 3D view. So I will suggest you to place that, um, if you want to place it properly, right? Go to your particular view. For example, I am going to the bottom of foundation view, and now I want to place my footing over here. Click on the isolation, and this is the rectangular foundation we have. And now you can actually snap your column or your grid line also, or you can use add column option also, and you can select your column like this. Now also we have some other types of footings. So let me place this first, this one. Okay, now go to the load family, and in the library you will find the different types of other foundations. So go to the structural foundation. We have pile, single pile foundation for the small columns, double pile, triple pile foundation. We have 4, 5, 6, so up to 9 we have, right? And we have pile with rectangular pipes, and these are the some others. So let me place this triangular pile foundation at this column. Okay, and I want to place something else over here. So again go to the load. I want to add a 9 pile foundation at this column. Finish. Now go to the 3D view and see, these are the foundations we have, right? And where is your ground level? If you want to view your ground level, just a minute, I am going to create it for you, so you can understand that thing easily, which is the above ground level and which one is the below ground level, right? So I'm going to create one. Okay, see, this one is our ground level, this is the structure above my ground, and these are the things we have below our ground level, right? So that's why I create this plane over here, so you can view that properly. Yes, you can use any units, Subham, right? Either metric or imperial. Now let me discuss the foundation, how to provide the reinforcement for this. So for the reinforcement, I will use one thing over here uh, for the easy way, so I can explain you that things very easily. So I'm just going to take three columns over here, any three columns with a beam. So let me use, these are the three, right? So I'm going to select this one. Okay, let me add foundation for all this. Isolation, this footing we have, at column, this one, finish. Now see how to provide the foundations. Sorry, not foundation, the reinforcement. So this is the next topic after the modeling of the structure. Now we are going to provide the reinforcement. For the reinforcement, do one thing, just focus on these three columns, these four columns we have, right? And what I want to do, okay, so everything is similar right now. So first of all, you need to create couple of sections. So your first section will be like this, right? So this is your horizontal section, and one more section you need to create. Click a section, and that is your vertical one, right? So this both section will be helpful to view it, our the intersecting portion, the center portion. If you want to view that, you can. And the cross section of the beam, we can view it from this section view, right? So double click on this section view and see the cross section of the beam is visible over here. Change this detail level to fine. Click on the realistic. Okay, so we just want to focus only on this member. Okay, now see, first thing in the reinforcement, we need to provide, or we need to decide the cover. The cover is that amount which is a offset from your exterior boundary where your steel will be, right? So that is our cover, and we define our cover as per the for the corrosion resistance mainly, right? That our steel must be a little inside from our concrete exterior face, so there will be a very less corrosion effect over there. Now for the cover, click on the cover, and a dotted line will be going to show you, right? So these are the pre-covers we have. Now for example, I want to provide a cover of 50 mm, right? So for now temporary, I am going to change my unit. Press UN for unit, and I am going to change it to the metric millimeter, right? And because I want to provide the value in millimeters, and to create a cover, go to this three dot option, cover settings, and here we can create our own cover. So click on the add. So this is my cover one, and the thickness I want to provide 50 mm, right? So that value will automatically going to convert whatever unit you are going to type. It is going to convert automatically. Now hit OK. Now for example, that cover I want to apply to this entire beam, then we have a option over here, pick element. So click on the pick element, select this, so your entire beam is selected. Now you need to select your covers. So I am going to select this cover, so that cover is going to apply, right? If let we have a smaller cover, so this is my half-inch cover. See, very tiny cover we have. and this is our regular one. Now for example, I want to provide a different cover from the different faces. So for example, from the bottom I want to provide a larger cover due to any reason, right? So what you need to do, just click on the cover, and here we have another option for the selection. Click on the pick face, click on the pick face, and now you just need to select a single face and you can change its cover. Please Ajay Dev, please don't send annotation requests, it will create so many problem over here. It's very much disturbance, so please don't send annotation request. So just select a face only and you can provide a individual cover to this face. Say I want to change it to the 2 inch. So this is almost 2 inch. Let me change it to the 3 inch. See, it is 3 inch and the rest we have 50 mm, that is we have decided. So in this way you first need to provide a cover, right? Now how to place the reinforcement? For the reinforcement, for the every types of element we have different options. So let me quickly discuss them. We have now only 1 hour and we need to also discuss the steel detailing. So for the reinforcement, right now we are in the section view of the beam, and click on the bars and see these are the bars we have. So these are the shapes we have, shape 0 0 1 2 3, right? And these all shapes we have. So first of all I want to place my horizontal bar, so I'm choosing this one, bar 0, and the bar size should be 18 mm, right? Okay. Now what I want to do, this is actually a horizontal steel bar, right? So for the placement we have another options. So go to the placement and I want to place it perpendicular to cover, and see we have a cross section for that, and this is right, exactly I want this thing, right? So just do one thing, while you are placing it just go with the smallest size and then you can easily change it, right? So here we are with the smallest size. Now for example I want to place 3 members on the top, so you have a set also, you can choose a fixed number 3. Now see we have directly 3 options, but as we go close to my placement position it actually flips the side, right? So that's why it is very difficult to place it exactly at the corner. So for that do one thing, make sure your orientation is proper and just place it anywhere, right? And now on the bottom I want a 5 or 6 member, so in the set I'm going to increase the number 6 here, right? Now finish it, and with the help of arrow key just select it, and with the help of this arrow keys top and bottom you can shift it towards the corner. Now I want to convert this, the bar size of this should be 10, and for this should be 8 9. Okay, so in this way we actually set everything. Okay, let me choose 8 or select it, go to the edit, and here we have bar diameter. It is 1 inch, so it's as per the other standards actually. So we can provide our own values over there. So the diameter of bar should be, let me change our unit first. Right now it is in millimeter. Okay, so select it, go to the edit, and this should be 16 mm, and this should be bend diameter should be, or just leave it otherwise. Or let me do one thing, let me take a construction template or Indian template, so we will get directly unit for that. So I'm going to choose a Indian template for that. Click on open, click on browse, and here we have structural analysis default Indian. Okay, and let me create grid lines 1, 2, 3, 4. This is inclined, delete it. Okay, now see, annotation, this one and this one should be equal, and this one 8,000. Okay, now the level 1, and in the south. Okay, click on the columns, choose a concrete column of any size, add grid, now go to the 3D view, select these columns, filter it. Okay, so the base offset -3 feet and the height offset also 3 feet. Apply and OK. Now on the level 2 we will create some beams. So click on the beam, choose beam, and one should be here to here. Okay. Now let me create two sections and also isolation for that. So go to the 3D view and click on the isolation, at column, this one and this one, and click on the finish. Right. Okay, and the two sections, one is from here to here and one will be like this on this side. And now let me go to our section 2, change the visual style to fine and realistic. Okay, and now click on the bars. Okay, the shape 1A, and now we have bar size in mm, so 16 mm size, and the placement is fine. Choose fixed number here and 6 copies on the bottom. Select this one, take it to the top, and this one to the bottom. If you want to place in between also, you can, right? But this is your entire group, so whatever size you are going to select, for example 25 radius, then that size will be applied to all that three members, right? For this one, for example, I want to use 20 then that size will be applied to entire series. Now go to the 3D view, and every time, see, if you are in the realistic wireframe mode, then it will be visible that my these are the steel members we have placed inside my beam. But when you go to the realistic one, that will be not visible. So you need to do one thing, just select it like this, right? So all your reinforcement members are going to select. Now if anything else is going to select, then we have selection filter option also, right? So you can filter it. And in the visibility, view visibility, you need to turn on these three four options, right? So visibility in solid, and also in the 3D view for analytical, and also in the 3D. So that will be visible in your 3D view with the realistic mode also, but still they all are like a wires, right? So just change your detail level to fine, so that members are now visible, right? So in this way you can actually set your reinforcement, right? So it is clear now up to this point how to apply or how to modify. Now for example, I want to remove some members from here, so you can just select it, and in the group just reduce the quantity, so we can easily update, right? Now for example, I want to create one object, one main structure member, which is starting from top to bottom to top again, right? Because as we know, as per the analysis result, we all know that we have a tension zone over here on the top at the support, and on the bottom at the middle, and our steel placement will be always for the tension zone only, right? So to consider the tensile load, so what we need to create, so there are so many members we have, the placement for that is like this. See, we begin from the top, then we actually take it on the bottom, then we continue our run, then we again take it to the top, and we again continue, right? So this type of member, for example, I want to place, or any other type of member you want to place, you can. For that, go to the this type of section. Which one? This one. So we can view it from there. So this is my section, and I want a member like this, right? So click on the rebar and find that type of member. So see, we have this shape we have, you can use this also. These are the shapes we have, this one we have. So at the different positions you can use these shapes. For the circular column we have this coil. Okay, but for our requirement we have only one option right now, which is this one, right? So it's a 2C shape. So select that and come to the view, and the placement is wrong, that is why nothing is going to display. So choose parallel to work plane. Okay, now we have the result. See, it's upside down or downside up. So place it first and finish it, and then go to the 3D view, and again you need to do same thing. If you want to view that in the Realistic mode, you need to select it, and every time you need to do this, because whatever things you are going to create, the visibility you need to turn on, right? So for that I will suggest you to do one thing: go to the wireframe mode and be comfortable with this one, right? So now I'm going to select this one, and for example, my bottom portion should be up to this point, this should be up to this point, so we can do our modification. Go to the section view. Okay, I will show you one more option also for the placement of your custom shapes, right? Now let me select this, and I want two copies for that, right? Two or three or four copies, how whatever copies you want, you can place that. And this is the reinforcement. Now I want to provide the tie reinforcement over here. So for that, again I'm going to the section 1, and I want to place the rings over here, right? So click on the rebar, and in the shapes, for the tying purpose we will use this one, right? So this one we generally use for the tying purpose, and it's parallel to cover. This is not right. Okay, perpendicular to cover. Okay, this is the right thing. Now I don't know how many tie rings will be there in this much length, right? So we can use a maximum. Instead of fixed number, you can use a maximum spacing. That maximum spacing I want 150 mm only, right? So the number he will decide automatically. The gap between two will be maximum 150 mm or below that, right? So just click once, and your all tie reinforcement is there. Select it, and the size should be 8 mm. Okay, so once you finish for the one column, then you can use your copy paste option also, right? You can select it like this, and you can use mirror tool, copy tool, whatever options you want. So let me use filter. Okay, now let me do copy from center to this center, host of rebar. No problem. Select it and mirror it. So we need to go to the section view, but in the mirror you will find one problem, that is these are the intersecting bars. The rest you can mirror it easily. So this reinforcement is also done. Now let me quickly complete the reinforcement of the column. For that we will go to the level 1 in our top view, and rebars, the first size will be this one, right? The size should be 25 mm diameter, and here we have fixed number 5. here, one more here, then fix number 2. Okay, so these are the reinforcement I have did. Now take it all the way up. This should be all the way down, and this should be somewhere here, and this is also somewhere here. You can use the dimensions also, right? If you want to place them properly, you can use the dimensions also. So these are the steels we have. Now let me place the tie rings. So go to the section 1, and here click on the rebar. Where is 6A0? Placement should be perpendicular to cover, and here we use a maximum spacing of 100 mm. Okay, and now you can use copy paste also. Just select this entire thing like this, and you can use mirror also or a copy also. Let me try copy first. From here to here, then again copy from here to here. Okay, now go to the 3D view. We have to change one thing. This tire reinforcement should be 8 mm diameter. Okay, that's actually by mistake. Okay, now once you are finished up to this point, just select everything, go to the filter, and just select only structural rebars, apply, okay, and go to the view visibility and turn this thing on. Okay, change it to the realistic. Now see, this is our reinforcement we have did. Now I want to provide the reinforcement for the footing, and actually I want to connect my column with my footing with some ankle bars, right? So for that, what we need to do, so there are so many things, right? So now let me go to the section 1 again, and for example I want to create my custom object over here by sketch, right? So for that, see, first of all go to the rebar, and over here we also have a option for sketch rebar. Click on the sketch rebar, choose column first, and now I'm going to sketch my bar, for example from here to here, then I want to go to here and up to this point. So this type of member I want to place, right? That's my requirement. To connect this column with the footing, I want to provide this type of member. Now hit on finish and go to the 3D view. That will be there. Here we have. So convert it into the wireframe for now. Okay. Select it. Size I want this one. and the single, instead we use fixed number. I want 6 copies, and I want to mirror it on the other side also. So again, go to the section view, select this, use mirror with peak axis, this one. Okay, and similarly you can shift your horizontal section over here, and you can do on the other side also, right? So in this way actually we can connect our column to the other structure. Also we can provide some anchor bars to the beams and columns, right? So in this way you need to provide your reinforcement. Is it clear now, students? So now let me discuss the next topic, that is the reinforcement in the wall and in the floor. So it's a very simple topic. For that I'm going to create one floor over here. So here we have a floor, concrete floor we have.
Already.
Okay, now hit on finish, and see, to provide a reinforcement inside this floor you need to use a area reinforcement. Click on the area reinforcement and select your object, and now draw your area, that in this much area I want to provide reinforcement, and hit finish, and that's it. Only that much thing you need to do. Now see, select your reinforcement over here, and we need to change the visibility. So this, see, this automatic grid structure you will get, but by default you will get two grid structure, one structure on the top and one on the bottom, right? So what you need to do, you need to select your area reinforcement like this, entire cross, right? And then just focus over here. So in the layers we have top major dice, you want or not. So if you don't want that you can hide it, if you want that you can take it, and which size it should be. Then there will be some kind of hook or not. So if you want to provide the hook of 90-degree, then it will be hook like this, right? And the spacing should be, you can increase it, so you can directly hook it with the beam, right? So if you have beams, so I want to hook it 500 mm, apply. So this is your spacing between two. Then this is your minor diameter, means your minor grids the other side. If you want that you can, the size of that, which size you want. I want a 6-inch size for that, and I want a 8-inch size for this. So this is your grid for the top, and similarly grid for the bottom. But generally we place a grid on the bottom only, right, in our floors. So if you don't want the top grids, you can turn off these things. Only the bottom major and bottom minor we have. For example, major grid line I want 10 mm diameter, and minor one I want 8 mm, and the spacing should be 100 mm by 100 mm. Click on apply. So only the bottom grid you will get, right? Now if you want to connect it with your columns, for example on this side we have columns, so if you want to connect it over there, then for that we have a path reinforcement. So click on the path reinforcement, select your object, and I'm going to create a path like this. So see, this is your path, right? So I am creating a path on these two sides only. Now click on the finish, and this is a new kind of reinforcement. So just a minute, let me select that path reinforcement. Primary bar should be 1000 meter long. Apply, so it is okay, and go to the visibility, so we can view that. Okay, so see, these are the ankle bars you will get. Now for example, I want them on the bottom, so you can change that also. Select them, not like that. Select your path reinforcement. So the size of your member, then the primary length, the standard hook also we have 180-degree. If you want alternate bars, you can use alternate bars also, so there will be double grid over there, right? Smaller size and bigger size, two types of bars you can combine, and the length for that and the shape for that. So these are the different shapes we have. Okay, and the facing, let me take bottom, so it will from bottom to top, and if you choose top, then it will from top to bottom. So these are the facings we have to connect our structure with the beam, right? We use this one. So these are the options for the reinforcement in concrete objects, right? Either it is a staircase or column or beam or floor or wall. Anything you have, you can provide a reinforcement like this, right? Now the next we are going to discuss about the steel structure, and that is our last topic. So let me quickly discuss that. So in the steel structure, we have so many complications over there, right? We have junctions, we have bolting, riveting over there. So these are the things we need to uh, deal with the things in the steel structure modeling. So I'm going to delete this thing. I hope it is clear to you all. Now let me go to the level 1, and I'm going to create some more grids over here. Let me delete these sections. Now we don't need that. So for the steel structure, I'm going to create one grid line over here. Name it A. Okay. And a pattern of that at 5 meter, 6 copies. Okay. So for example, we want to create some kind of industrial shade or anything, right? So for that, now we will work with the steel structure. Right now we are in the Indian template, and in India, for the steel structure, for the I section, we are preferring ISME standard, right? And in the ISME, the main sizes we have ISMB 100, ISMB 225, 300, 600, and also we have 1500, but that is a quite big size that we generally won't use in the construction purpose, right? That size is for the mechanical purpose only, where we need extremely high strength, ISMB 1500. For the construction purpose, we generally use ISMB 300, which is the fine. So first of all, for the column, the same funda will apply over here also. So I want to create a column. So click on the column level 1, and let me click on the add grid option, and I'm going to select these are the grids. Click on apply. Okay. Sorry, it's a beam. So choose column here, ISMB 300, and at grid option, and I'm going to select all this grid. Before we are going to select it, height level 2, okay, and click on finish. So these are the columns we have. Now go to the 3D view, and this arrangement you will get. Now for example, I want to place a truss over here, right? So go to the level 2, and here you will get truss option. Click on the truss, and I'm going to create a truss, but before we create it, let me check which are the options we have for the trusses. So go to the structural trusses over here, and here we have, these are the shapes. See, so for example, I want this one. We have a
हो
very
थांब,
tiny
15 मिनिटं थांब, 15 मिनिटं थांब म्हटलं, आली.
students, please mute yourself. So here is my truss. Now go to the 3D view, and see this truss is over here. Now if you want to change some of the dimensions and everything, you can select it, and you can change it from the edit type, right? From here you can actually edit everything. So on the top bar we have, that is known as top chords. Then in the vertical webs, see what we have in the vertical webs. So I'm going to decrease the size for that. Click on apply. So here we won't have any kind of vertical webs right now in this particular truss, right? Now we have diagonal webs. So these are the our diagonal webs we have. So I want to decrease that, the size of that. See, smaller size we have. I also want to decrease the size of this one, and also we have bottom piece. So I want to use this size for that. So you can adjust everything over here, then hit OK. So this is your truss. If you want to change the instead of I section, for example, if you want to use some kind of other things, you can. We have so many options in the diagonal web. I want to use L section. Click on apply. Sorry, it's a pipe. So right now there is no L section, so we need to load that. And to load it, we need to go to the view, sorry, in the insert, go to the load family, and in the structure framing, the steel, these are the different frames we have: box, pipe. So here we have L angle. Click on open. Sorry. So I'm going to select all this size and click on open. Now let's have a look that L section we have. So here we have that L section which is loaded. So you can use the L section also. So that depends on your requirement, right? Which section you want to create. Students, please mute yourself. The last 10 minutes we have. And okay, thank you. Now go to the level 2. Change your detail level to fine. And I'm going to select this truss and take a copy multiple from here to here to here. Okay. So these are the trusses we have placed, right? Now, for example, I want to do one thing. What is the height of our truss? Truss height is 1800, right? And I want to place a metal deck floor over there. So for the first time, I'm going to place it, right? So click on the structure, click on the floor, and use 75 mm metal deck. Click on the edit. The thickness is 75 which is fixed. Okay, no problem. So now I'm going to create it over here. So using offset tool, let's have a 500 mm offset on the both side, on this side and on that side. Okay, now create a corner. Finish it and go to the 3D view. And our roof is right over here, right? Which is a wrong thing actually. This is actually a metal deck. It looks concrete, but it's a metal deck floor. See? So now what I want to do, I want to create a sloping roof over here. So with the help of roof, we can easily create that. But now with the help of this floor option, so for that, select your floor, click on to modify sub element, and here add a split line. And I'm going to add one split line from the midpoint to midpoint. Select it and select this and change your height 1800. Okay. Analytical floor. Analytical floor we have. Okay, no problem. So that is our analytical floor. That's visibility graphics. Where is visibility graphics? And analytical model, and turn off the analytical floor. Where is the floor? Here we have apply. Okay. Now see, we set actually. Now we have 75 mm thickness. So what we need to do actually, just select it, go to the edit and select this one and provide a little bigger value. So 1900 I'm going to provide, or let me take complete 2 meter. For this one also we need to provide a 10 mm offset. Select it and 100, and for this one also 100. So that's it, we create a roof. Now the last topic I am going to explain you, because whenever wind are going to occur, right, wind will be there, this entire shade is going to fall down due to the wind, right? So what we need to do, we need to provide some kinds of support between two columns, and that is a very critical task. We need to provide some kinds of connections over there, right? So for that, go to the level 1 first, and we will use our brush tool for that. So click on the brush, and first click will be at level 1, for example 300 mm above, and the second click will be on level 2 minus 300 mm below, right? And I want to create, for example, I want to use a ISMB 100, or you can use a round section also, that we have ISRO. Yes, here we have ISRO round section. So I'm going to create it from here. This is first click and this is the second click. So I'm just going to explain you one example. Now finish it, select it, braces, level 1, level 2, 300 minus 300, from here to here. Now go to this. Now it is proper. See, now what I want to do, I want to connect this pipe with this column, right? So you need to do one thing, you just choose this connection and select this both and hit enter. And see, here we have second one, means this is the secondary object and this one is the primary object, right? So this is right. Now right now we don't have any kind of options over here in the connection. For the fastening, for the bolting, we don't have any kind of option. Just a minute, let me save it, otherwise. Okay, so we just place this connection. Now in the connection we have no option, see. So to get that option, you need to do one thing. These are the steel structural modeling, right, that we are right now discussing. So go to the connection over here in the small drop down, and here you will find all these connections. See, these are the available connections we have. There are so many. Select all and take it over here. Now hit OK. Now select this one, and I'm going to provide a connection. So there are so many connection, we need to find a proper connection. So the gusset plate, not this one. Here we have tube connection, sandwich plate. Okay, tube connection, floating plate, and tube angle bearing. So these are the options we have for the tube connection, right? So let me choose this one. See what we get over here. So it's like this connection we have, right? A plate over there, that plate is welded, and this is the welding symbol. See, the first, this plate is going to weld to my column, then these are the boltings we have, and a piece over here we have welding. Let me choose another one. Select this one, and on this bearing plate, so there is only a single plate over there which is we need to weld, and that is going to bolt with the another plate. So it's quite simple, right? So these are the options we have. So this one is the best one that we like. Now we will add the same thing over here also. So click on the connection, select these two, hit enter, and I want to change it to the this one. Okay. Now see, if you choose only column bottom, right? So click on the connection and choose this bottom piece only. Then you will get a foundation connections over there, right? So here we have end plate trim like this, right? These are the foundation options we have. So base plate cut we have, base plate only we have. So let me use this base plate, which is the best one. And now for example, I want to manipulate this plate, right? I want to change the dimensions of this plate. So select it, click on the modify parameter, and here you will get all the things that we have. Base plate, so the plate thickness you can change right now, right? And the plate dimensions, here we have a number one means this one, that we I want 100 mm, right? Or let's say 150 mm I want, then the rest we are not editable. Now plate corners, so if you want to trim it so you can use fillet on your corners. I want to fillet it from all corners, right? So we have fillets. Then anchors and bolts, so right now it's US anchors. I want a J shape like this, so you can take that. The length of that I want 500 mm. Then the size of that I want 200 mm, or these are the inch standard. Now for example, I want to change the quantity for that. So parallel and perpendicular copies we have, right? So number one is this one. So how many copies you want? Let we say three. So now we have three copies. Let's have four. Okay, now the distance we need to reduce. Okay, the offset from center, if you want to provide that you can, and then group to left side and right side. let me increase this value 300, little more, 350, 375, 400. Okay, now it is fine. Everything is outside and completely placed, right? So this is my footing for the column. So in this way you can customize, right? You can customize this one also. The number of bolts and the plate size and everything you can. So that's it for today. I hope you all get the exact idea about the steel structural modeling and also reinforcement and also the structural modeling, right? Concrete modeling. So now if you have any kind of question, then you can ask me.
We can have 5 minutes of Q&A before we do some closing. Students, if you have some questions regarding today's session, any queries that you have, please unmute your mic and you can ask a question to us. Thank you.
Sir, why purlin is not used in while creating the steel structures?
You will have to be slightly louder, please. Get your mic close to your mouth and then speak so that your voice is audible.
Sir, why the purlin is not used in the steel structures?
Which one, Perlin?
Above the inclined truss member?
Here,
No, sir. That inclined truss member
here.
on which the flat sheet is placed.
Say, if you are going to connect this truss member properly, right, there will be mesh up because these are the pre-created things. Actually, we can apply some cooping, miltering, and things over here. For example, I want to connect this member over here completely. You can use this cooping. Select this both and hit enter. And this is my secondary connection. This is my primary connection. And see, the connection is completely fit over here, right? But on the top
Yes.
again we need to apply, it is going to mash up. So again I'm going to apply couping over here. I'm going to select this both and hit enter, and this is my secondary and this is my primary. So this member is fit now, right? But now we cannot attach this member to this both at a time. Either we can attach this member to this one or the bottom one, right? So only this option we have. So that is why in the truss, please don't do anything. These are the pre-created libraries, right? If you are creating your own truss manually, that you can. Okay, students. See, overlapping rebars is fine. That is no problem because in our real life, this is just your creation purpose, right? Your modeling task. You can use your arrow key to shift it from left to right, nothing else we have, right? But you need to provide your reinforcement as per the data sheet you will get from your structural report, right? Whatever calculation you are going to do, you will get a reinforcement detailed report, and on that type of on whatever things you have instructions, you need to provide your reinforcement as per that. Okay, so okay
I have one
students.
question. No, sir, I have one question. Last question.
हाँ बोलो.
Hello, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, suppose we have to work on architectural model. Suppose architecture 3D model, we have to work on that.
Okay.
So how we can work on that? Suppose
See,
generally in BIM it's occurs, no?
yes, I got your
It
question.
happens.
See, whenever you finish your architectural model, you need to do one thing: save that file. Now open a structural analytical template over here, and you need to import your entire architectural model. See, we have link Revit file option over here. So you need to
Okay,
import your entire architectural model to the structural template, and that will be in wireframe mode only, right? It will be in transparent mode only, and then you can use that model as a reference only, and the structure equipments you need to create over here.
okay, sir.
Got it?
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So
Any
Kishwans,
other question, student? Any other student? Any question you have, students? Any student? Any question? Any faculty has any questions? Setu sir, you can once take their attendance also.
okay, sir, sure.
Okay, students, before we close this session, immediately after the session, in your respective WhatsApp groups, you will get a feedback form. Please give that feedback form. Only students who are filling the feedback form with proper details will be issued a e-certificate for attending this session. So that certificate is very important, right? And the recording of this session will also be shared with the students, but only those students who have subscribed to our YouTube channel will get these recordings. Uh, as per the policy of YouTube, we are going to send this recording link on your email ID that you have shared with us. Only students who have subscribed to the SaiCad Center YouTube channel will get that mail. If you have not subscribed, you will not get that mail. So all students and faculties who are attending today's session and want a link to the video recording of today's session, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, another important information I want to give you, we have got a very good response to this today's session. We had a house full. A lot of students could not attend this session because it was a house full. We are running full capacity. On request of many students and faculties and few HODs also called me. We are holding another session today from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. of the on the same topic. So students, your friends who have missed this session, have registered or have not registered, please ask them to contact us if they want to attend this session again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Uh, Stay safe, stay home, happy learning, and trust me, online learning is the future for all of you. Do not waste your time in activities that are not giving any results. Focus on skill development, because along with the university degree, skills are very important to get placed. Remember that. Do not waste time on activities that are not going to give you any results. Thank you so much. We are signing off for today, and stay tuned for more sessions, expert sessions. We are also conducting online trainings for students from across the country. These trainings are being offered at 1/3 or 1/4 of the cost of our classroom training. We will share the fee structure of our programs, special fee structures for students who are attending today's session. If you are interested to join the trainings by our expert trainers, please enroll for our online trainings. Trainings are conducted 5 days a week, 1 hour per day, and students from across the country are participating in these trainings. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you, Setu sir, for a wonderful session. And we look forward to many more amazing such sessions from you. All the best. Goodbye.